They haven't signed
Khalil Mack is unhappy.
Still unhappy, right? They haven't re-signed him, right?
Yeah, there's reports that John Gruden hadn't even spoke with him.
Yeah, I find that a little bit weird
to me.
So I do like John Gruden. At this point, I think I might like him better in the on Monday Night Football than as a coach. So I mean, So I mean that for me, the Raiders, not terrible. I like Derek Carr. Marshawn's still your number one running back. Okay, maybe.
Yeah,
he really didn't do much.
A couple years, I think, out of his prime.
Didn't do much last year.
Yeah.
And then I saw a report today that says Martavis Bryant's having a hard time with Gruden's playbook because it's probably crazy and the trend now for playbooks is not simple, but
to simplify
RPOs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
we'll move on to the AFC North. I'm definitely going Pittsburgh Steelers here.
I am too.
Again, in that division, I feel like they're the best team until somebody proves that Pittsburgh isn't. I feel like Pittsburgh improved with getting rid of Todd Haley as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I like that. I like that move a lot.
And I'm not one for saying guys should be fired or this and that a lot, but I felt like he just wasn't a good fit there. And, him and Big Ben had their struggles kind of behind the scenes, and even it did spill over to on the field some. And if your franchise quarterback's not getting along with your offensive coordinator, it's not a good sign for your team. So I feel like they got better by moving on from Todd Haley.
Yeah, I would think so. Some of these teams I see when the offensive coordinator sometimes is a little buddy-buddy kind of with the QB and stuff like that. That meshes a lot better when the head coach. I'm not saying the head coach is buddy-buddy or the head coach has to be like a terrible, crazy guy. But coordinator gets along with the quarterback. It's a huge deal, right?
Yeah.
Like you could see last year with, Doug Peterson really called the plays in Philly. He has an OC. I can't remember who it was.
It definitely helps the chemistry of your team.
Peterson for Philly was definitely a team guy or like a player's coach, and him and Wentz got along really well. And then even when you go over to New England, McDaniels and Brady had they would get into little arguments and stuff, but overall, when you watch their body language, they get along really well. So thanks Todd Haley. Haley was crazy when he was here in Kansas City. It was super erratic. All over the place, and they couldn't get anything. They had one good season, couldn't get anything else right. So, getting rid of them. So, I also have the Steelers.
Okay.
Run down the other teams why you think maybe they are not going to win.
We got Cincinnati in there. I feel like Marvin Lewis is he's kind of stabilized that organization a little bit.
Man, he's still there, right?
Yeah, he's still there. They're good, but I just don't see them upending the Steelers. The Browns, they're going to be better, but they're not going to be there yet.
Right.
And then you also have Baltimore. I feel like Baltimore will be a good, solid team, but I just don't feel like they can win enough games and dethrone the Steelers at this point.
Yeah, since Flacco won the Super Bowl, he's really come down to earth. Pretty average to above average. Really haven't seen much of Flacco, and really I think the best well received from Flacco was their playoff run they did. Mm-hmm. I think he put up some historic stuff.
He did their Super Bowl run. Flacco was amazing,
lights out, right?
Yeah, he was amazing, and that's why he got the big contract.
Yeah, and that was a good. Yeah, because I remember that Super Bowl. That was a good Super Bowl because he had two quarterbacks that were really playing with Kaepernick. Hardball ball, and then both quarterbacks were playing at really elite levels. Kaepernick was, and then Flacco was too. So I'm with you. Actually, I totally agree. I think Bengals, Ravens, very average teams, right? Either one of those teams wins. They're in the 7, 8, 9 win range.
Yep.
That's about right. They're tough teams. They're not easy wins. The Browns improve.
They'll compete.
Yeah, and the Browns actually will probably compete a little bit too. I don't know. We're not doing the wins yet, but the Browns will be a lot better.
Yeah,
I think
they won't be 0-16 again. Yeah, I just don't think you can jump from 0-16 to competing for a division title that quickly in 1 year.
No.
And maybe
it happens. It happens, and
not from 0-16, but
not 0-16. Missing,
but it does happen from last to first.
Last to first happens, but 0-16 to 10-6 or 11-5. Man, that's a big, crazy thing. So next up, we'll do AFC South.
AFC South.
A little bit crazy, right?
Yeah. Why don't you go first on this one?
Oh, I'm a big Coughlin fan. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. I like what he's doing. That's an easy pick for me. Jacksonville's defense will stay nasty. What's funny about Bortles? I really don't feel like Bortles played like okay, and he had like some good runs where he's basically what he did was he played almost some Alex Smith stuff, right? They had an awesome running game. They got 2 good running backs with Yeldon and Fournette. Yeah, right.
Fournette, yeah.
And O-line's pretty solid. The defense is really nasty. Ramsey's nasty. Their other corner, I can't remember his name. He's nasty. Front 7, really good. They got a shot to be number 1 defense this year, I think. And then what happens is Bortles stopped turning the ball over. And guess what? You stop turning the ball over, you start winning games. They were in, I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember what the score of that Patriots game was. They were in that game, right? Or the Patriots kind of...
I don't remember.
Can't remember. Anyways, I think they're right there, and I'm not saying Super Bowl or anything like that, but I think they win the division.
I'm going to go kind of opposite here. I'm going to go Houston because Deshaun Watson stays healthy all year.
That's game changer, right?
And I think Houston wins that division. Indianapolis will be a lot better now that Andrew Luck's back.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But I got a feeling, my gut is telling me that with Deshaun Watson, him playing healthy, that's going to be the deal. He's going to get it done, and Houston Texans are going to win the AFC South.
I'm not. I can't totally dispute you on that because Deshaun was playing really well before he hurt his ACL. ACL, right?
Yeah. Before he tore his knee up. Yeah.
His only thing is limit his turnovers a little bit, and they're going to be pretty good. Houston's defense is good. If Watt stays healthy, actually, you know what? Even if Watt doesn't stay healthy, that defense is still pretty good.
It is. So
and
I'm not saying Jacksonville's going to go terrible, but I feel like they take a little bit of a step back. I think we can probably both agree Tennessee's probably still in the cellar of that division.
They made playoffs last year.
Yeah, but I think they'll be in the cellar this year.
I think it's a tough division.
It is a tough division.
Don't
say the toughest, because the toughest is the NFC East.
No, I'm saying toughest AFC. Maybe. I mean, most even.
Okay,
right?
maybe.
Texans,
we'll see.
Because none of those teams are trash.
No.
The Colts with Luck aren't trash.
Who's your 2 wild card teams in the AFC?
2 wild card teams AFC. I'm gonna go one. I'm gonna go Chiefs. I don't think that's crazy. And my reasoning is just, I don't know. Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid, since he's been here, has made playoffs. I think he missed it 1 year with an 8-8 record. Rest of the year's made playoffs. Andy Reid, what I think is the defense will be bad. I think the offense will be really good. And the thing is, I've talked about that before. Is people are like, you don't know anything about Mahomes. Well, what I do know is Andy Reid always does well with quarterbacks, and I know we actually have a really good running game, right? Kareem Hunt led the league in rushing last year. Offensive line's not great, but they don't have to be super great. When you run that kid out of shotgun, he's because he ran out of pistol when he was in college. He's much more effective than under center. So if they just keep doing that, Kelsey, really good tight end. Hill, Watkins, a lot of the position guys are pretty, top 10, top 20. Kelsey's the best tight end because he stays healthy. Concussion issue last year, one time, but he's healthier than Gronk. Otherwise, if Gronk stayed healthy, I'd have Gronk 1, Kelsey 2. I got Kelsey 1.
I mean, and I'm going to go with you there. I think the Chiefs get one of the 2 wild card spots in the AFC for the reasons you said. And if you look at, wide receiver wise, the Chiefs improved this year.
Yeah.
By signing Sammy Watkins.
Yep.
Because you kept Travis Kelce and then you added a Sammy Watkins on the outside who definitely improved your receiving core.
Yep.
The one thing that worries me is that defense a little bit. I think getting rid of Marcus Peters was bad for your defense.
Oh, definitely.
And so, that worries me a little bit, but I still think, and having a rookie quarterback, or not a rookie, but really starting in his second year, so be his first year as a starting quarterback. That makes things tough, but I still see the Chiefs. I mean, Andy Reid is a coach who's done it well for a long time, and just kind of seems to have that formula to get it done. So yeah, I got the Chiefs getting that first wild card spot. Who's your other wild card?
My other wild card actually would be I'm with you on the Deshaun Watson, so I like Texans for wild card. I don't think it's crazy. I almost went Colts because I do think Andrew Luck's that good. But I got to go with Houston. I think Houston was on a roll last year with Watson. Limits the turnovers a little bit. Man, they're going to be pretty good. So I'll go with Houston.
Well, I thought about going with Jacksonville because I don't have them winning the division.
That's right. You don't have them winning the division.
I thought about going with Indianapolis because I don't have them winning the division.
Right.
But ultimately, I went with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
Getting that playoff spot. So I have 3 teams coming out of the AFC West, which, I think makes it the toughest division in the AFC. I feel like the Chargers have an elite quarterback, right there. Phillip Rivers is right there on that tier. Yeah. They're definitely going to have some guys that can pass rush, coming off the edge, Bosa, and you talked about that and them winning the division. But, I just feel like they're not going to – I feel like that division is going to be a race that's going to come down to the last week.
It's going to be tough, right?
And I feel like they can get 3 teams in.
No, what's crazy about the AFC West was last year, I really felt like the Raiders were going to win.
Yeah.
I really felt like the Raiders were going to win.
And I felt like if Derek Carr stayed healthy, he would have.
And I thought they were right there with Del Rio. And I thought they were there. I thought the team was confident. When you played against them, they were confident. And then you start to see some of the stuff that come out of there this year, and then they're moving to Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a dead season for them, right?
So what do you think if John Gruden was here right now, what do you think he would say
Oh,
about us both kind of picking them to be at the bottom of the division?
Well, I can't even do it right now, man. But Gruden just, I really do like John Gruden a lot. I don't know, man. It's really hard to figure out what exactly is going to happen with that, just because of some of the weird stuff coming out of the reports, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not going smooth. The owner wants to move to Vegas. Are the fans even going to show up? Which actually they probably will.
Yeah.
Probably not full stadium or whatever, but I mean, I'll tell you what, that's what you get. That's what you get for not building. I mean, a lot of people want to say, taxpayers should have to build a stadium, or whatever. I'm not opposed to that because I think having a team there benefits taxpayers so much through revenue, all that stuff.
I mean, I feel like
I think it's worth it.
I feel like our stadiums, there's been tax stuff that has had those get redone, and I think that's a good thing. It's not necessarily bad. It is good for your city to have a pro sports franchise there in your city.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I know Jerry owns his thing. I don't know.
For the stadium.
Yeah, and he does that because he's going to make more money that way, right?
Yeah, but Arlington there was some kind of tax levy that Arlington did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to get that. So
okay. So Jerry did whatever the best deal for him was to make more money in the long run.
Best deal for him and for the city. So
I think he's
and Texas Stadium was old and kind of decrepit.
Probably pretty good businessman. So
yeah. So
another team actually I was thinking of was last year. I would have had if Tannehill was healthy, I would have had Miami in there.
Yeah, Miami's another team.
But losing Landry, I think, is tough.
Yeah, I do too.
Kind of
weird. We took about 30 minutes there on the AFC. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it off here, and next week we'll come back and we'll do our NFC predictions. So we did AFC this week. We'll do NFC next week, and then it'll be about time to get rolling.
Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll do some. We'll probably do the NFC one, and then after that, probably do a college football one.
Probably do college football, and maybe we still got a couple guests we're trying to get lined up, but schedules, it's always tough scheduling guys. So still working on that. But those of you who listen, thanks for tuning in again this week, and we appreciate all our listeners. Remember, You can always send in questions, comments, concerns. Send in your division winners to our Twitter or Facebook, which is under @MidwestMike.